US President Donald Trump has signed a travel ban on nationals of 12 countries, barring them from entering the United States. He said the executive order he signed Wednesday was needed to protect against what he called foreign terrorists and other security threats. In a video posted to X, he specifically mentioned Sunday's attack in Colorado that targeted a pro-Israel march.
The recent terror attack in Boulder, Colorado, has underscored the extreme dangers posed to our country by the entry of foreign nationals who are not properly vetted, as well as those who come here as temporary visitors and overstay their visas.
Egypt is not on the list of countries facing travel limits, even though the suspect in the Boulder firebomb attack was an Egyptian national. However, Trump said the list could be revised and new countries could be added. Starting June 9th, there will be a total ban on nationals from Afghanistan, Yemen and Iran in the Middle East, Myanmar and Haiti, and those from 7 African nations such as Somalia, Sudan, and Libya. Meanwhile, there'll be partial restrictions on people from 7 other countries. In that list, there's Cuba, Laos, Venezuela, and Sierra Leone. These all echo an entry ban Trump imposed at the start of his first term on several mainly Muslim countries. That ban was repealed by the Biden administration later on. Then, in a campaign speech in October 2023, Trump previewed a plan to restrict people from Gaza, Libya, Somalia, and other places.
If you're coming from somewhere full of people who want to kill Americans, we will not let you in.
Wednesday's new bans are part of a broader immigration crackdown since the start of Trump's second term. In January 2025, he issued an executive order beefing up security vetting of foreigners seeking admission to the U.S. to root out national security threats. That order directed several cabinet members to give a list of countries to suspend travel from because their, quote, vetting and screening information is so deficient. In response to Trump's order Wednesday, Venezuela's Minister of Interior, Justice and Peace, Diosdado Cabello, called the U.S. government fascist on state TV.
Honestly, being in the US is a big risk for anyone, not just Venezuelans. If you're really that foolish, then go to the United States.
Somalia immediately pledged to work with Washington to address security issues, according to a statement from its ambassador to the U.S.
Earlier this week, U.S. officials told Reuters the Navy would rename an oil tanker that had been named after slain gay rights activist Harvey Milk. In a statement, a Pentagon spokesperson said Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth was committed to ensuring that military names, quote, are reflective of the Commander-in-Chief's priorities, our nation's history, and the warrior ethos. Milk was a Navy veteran who later became the first openly gay California politician when he was elected to the San Francisco Board of Supervisors. In 2016, the Navy said it would name one of its new ships after Milk. The USNS Harvey Milk was christened 5 years later as part of the John Lewis class of tankers.
His work
Roberto Ordeñana is the executive director of the oldest museum of LGBTQ history in the United States, the GLBT Historical Society in San Francisco. He says the decision to rename the tanker amounts to the historical erasure of his community.
You know, this is just another example of the presidential administration's work to try to erase the LGBTQ community, erase the incredible contributions to history and culture that our community has made. And we're just not going to stand for that.
San Franciscoans who spoke to Reuters this week were quick to slam the decision.
The message is homophobia is alive and well in 2025. Harvey Milk is much more of a warrior than Pete Hegseth ever was or ever will be. You know, he's a hero. You know, he's in the military, I believe. So he's in the military and he's a hero to a lot of people for political reasons, and Pete Hegseth will never be that. And he knows it. Pete Hegseth knows it.
The planned renaming is the military's latest move under Hegseth to root out diversity, equity, and inclusion. One official said it would not be surprising if more ships in the same class were renamed. since other tankers honor civil rights and human rights leaders.
U.S. opposition to this resolution should come as no surprise. It is unacceptable for what it does say. It is unacceptable for what it does not say. And it is unacceptable for the manner in which it has been advanced. The United States has been clear. We would not support any measure that fails to condemn Hamas and does not call for Hamas to disarm and leave Gaza. It is unconscionable that the UN still has not labeled and sanctioned Hamas as a terrorist organization. The United States has taken the very clear position since this conflict began that Israel has a right to defend itself, which includes defeating Hamas and ensuring they are never again in a position to threaten Israel. In this regard, any product that undermines our close ally Israel's security is a non-starter. This resolution would undermine diplomatic efforts to reach a ceasefire that reflects the realities on the ground and emboldens Hamas.
I shall put the draft resolution to the vote now.
My proposal, we offer, which I believe our partners can support, is that we propose to the Russians a ceasefire until the leaders meet. We offer a meeting any day starting from Monday. Why ceasefire before leaders meet? Because we can meet, and if there is no mutual understanding, if there is not desire for de-escalation, if there is no desire and vision how to put an end to it, then the ceasefire will be over the same day. It can be initiated unilaterally by the Russians. Please feel free to do so.
The clear skies, the constant 20-degree temperature, but the cool nights, I think that's important. About 9 degrees we had every night for a longer period of time, and I think that's critical for the growth of the strawberries. But it's the light levels. We're here in Kent in the southeast of England, and the light levels have really helped the plants to develop and to produce the sweet and large berries that we've got at the moment. I think we, as farmers, as horticulturalists, have to be aware that the climate is changing over a period of time, and I think we have to be prepared. We have to invest in the technology. That means that we understand the weather impact on the crops and how we change our irrigation or feeding routines for the future. It also means we've got to be mindful of our investments in other areas, such as water capture.